Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Harrison's Garage. I'm Harrison and welcome to a very special episode. As you can see, we are in a shop. I've done a lot behind the scenes this last year. Much of that has to do with acquiring this shop. We're up in Washington State, Eastern Washington. This is gonna be something you might see on the channel every once in a while, so this is gonna be one of those special occasions. And today I've got my brother here with me. This is Drew. And we are going to be working on this very special truck we got up here. It's an 09 Ford F250 Super Duty. And we're going to be replacing, as you can tell on the title, these headlights with these AlphaRex Luxx headlights for 08 to 10 Super Duty. So we're gonna get these unboxed and then walk you through every step in the process to get the old ones removed and these new ones put in place. All right, before we get into tearing the 09 250 headlights out, I thought I would film a quick before just to show you what the OEM lights look like. They come up to just below that second door panel, which is about 3 feet off the ground, and they're very, very dim. Opening up this door, what does it look like out there? So get a sense for the throw on these. They don't go very far. That tree out there that you can barely see, that's about 100 feet from where I'm standing. So these lights are pretty awful. Really looking forward to seeing what the new ones will do in terms of illumination. So we're gonna go ahead, shut the truck off, get started on the install, and walk you through the whole process. All right, guys, we've gotten the headlights unbolted. We have a little bit of a unique complication on this truck with this aftermarket bumper. We can't reach the bottom mounting bolt from the top. We have to snake our way in underneath and through the fog light holes, but we got it done. So once you get all 4 bolts out, which we have a bolt here, bolt there, and there's a bolt way up in there, which I don't even think you can see, but it's there. It would normally appear, I guess if I lift this up, just on the edge there, that's the hole, but it mounts so closely to this bumper here that we had to come in from underneath. So now that you've got all of them worked loose, you just pull the headlights forward, which is really easy to do. And then you're gonna take your harnesses off. Now this truck being an 09, it is fairly old at this point, 16, almost 17 years old. So you gotta be careful not to crack the plastic on your connectors. Come over here to the driver's side harness. We've got a little bit more going on with other items in the way. Try and pull this out one-handed. Okay. I had to put the phone on pause. I needed 2 hands. This guy is stuck in this little hole here with this clip. Pull that free and this headlight will easily pop out as well. Again, disconnect your harnesses for the 2 lights, turn signal, and we're ready to swap in the new lights. Thanks, buddy. Okay, guys, we are just kind of troubleshooting, seeing what we want to do and how. Got the lights mocked up, done a quick connection. All of these harnesses are keyed, so you can't mess this up. You got high beams, low beams, turn signal, and then an additional feature that you don't have on the factory lights, which is this red wire. It's the daytime running light. I've connected that already. It literally clips together. I just opted to add in additional heat shrink over top, just to keep it from corroding, that type of thing. No other reason really. And then one thing I believe we're gonna settle on doing is, instead of mounting the daytime running light control harness to this battery on the passenger side, we're going to opt to connect it to the battery on the driver's side to sort of minimize the amount of things that we've got running across the engine bay here. This way we only have the fuse connection wire running from this driver's side battery back to the fuse box a couple of inches, rather than running all the way across. We can opt to shorten this cable way up. Doesn't seem to be polarity on the daytime running lights. We'll find out the hard way if there is, but Right now, other than that, it's just way simpler. It seems to be the case. So we're going to kind of mock everything up, get it all tightened down, looking pretty good, and then come back to you when we're ready to test. All right, just thought I'd kind of summarize where we've got the harness run so far. This is the daytime running light going over to the passenger light. Comes over to the daytime running light connected to the driver's side light now. I did the same thing with the heat shrink there. We disconnected this connector from the harness just for ease of running it. We'll be plugging it back in to here shortly. This guy is the harness controller. It's snaked sort of behind this cross member, up behind the battery. We're gonna plug this in obviously to red and black. Now the only thing we have left is the signal wire, which we have run behind the battery tray and snuck it out rather neatly over here, just behind the battery tray. So what we're gonna do is get this out of the way first so you can see. We gotta connect this to our fuse. To do that though, we need to remove this, we need to remove this guy, which is in the way. Now to lift this out the way, there's this, I don't want to call it a wing nut, but you just counterclockwise, give it a 90-degree turn. This thing will rotate up and then lift free. And you can place it somewhere where you don't need access to it. And then when you do put it back, just make sure you reconnect this hose back to it. But first, do your thing in the fuse box, then reconnect this hose. All right, so we're gonna pull the fuse. It's the one on the top left, 10 amp. Go ahead and place it now in your fuse tap. Make sure it's set nicely, and then go ahead and replace your fuse tap in the fuse box. And that's pretty much all there is to it in terms of ensuring you got daytime running light functionality. We will certainly clean this up, cut it shorter, but we're gonna do a little bit of testing, make sure we get all the features as they're supposed to work. And then I'll bring you back when we're done to show you the final reveal. All right, I know I said we would meet back up with you once we were done to test this out, but in reassembling the fuse assembly here, came across two things that I wanted to show you I think would be important if you're doing this. And that is on the fuse box lid, I decided to put a little hole in the back of this guy as close to the firewall as possible to run the wire out through. If I ran it through the sides of the fuse box, it just ended up pinching the wire, and I figured why risk the short. Now, once I got this tap run to the rear of the box, way back in there, and then the wire brought through the rear hole, I went to close it and found that, strangely, this wouldn't close, and that's because the fuse box has this injection molded plastic ribbing running all the way across to add strength. However, this fuse tap has quite a bit of height, prevented the fuse box from closing, so had to snip that out of there to get the fuse box to shut. So, just wanted to let you guys know, and now that we've got that figured out, this time for sure, I'll meet back up with you when we're ready to test it out. All right, guys, so we've been wrenching on this for quite a while, getting these headlights online, and let me tell you, it is not that straightforward. I had to reach out to AlphaRex. Getting the low beams is pretty obvious because there's a lot of literature on it. High beams, nothing. So I reached out to them. I will throw a picture on screen right here. You can pause the video, take a screenshot, do that right now, of the picture that they sent me, and this is specifying which adjustment screws do what. And the sort of adjustment screw that you should be able to get with a screwdriver, that does the brights. That one is up and down on the brights. There's another adjustment screw, you can get with a 5/32 ratchet, way down on the bottom of the light. That one is horizontally on the brights. Now, if you're looking at the instructions for these lights online, it says turning the screws clockwise for the low beams will lower them, but on the brights, sends them up. So keep that in mind before you go screwing on this clockwise for a whole bunch of time. Anyway, we've finally gotten them aligned perfectly. So we're gonna go test them out in the back acreage and probably take you guys along just to see how this looks. Yeah. All right, guys, we've just pulled out of the shop. We're gonna go take these for a spin, see how they look in the back acreage. I'm gonna shut this light off, face you forward, and we'll see what we can see. We'll find out. Apologize for the bumps on camera. It's not really a road back here. Already I'm quite pleased with the throw off in the distance out in the trees there. Once we get to the shooting range in a second, I'm going to throw on the brights and see if we can see all the way to the target. Oh, I can already see it. So there's the brights. They don't have a cutoff on the lens, but this is massively improved over the stock lights. I don't know what the actual lumen throw is, but let's take a look at the light bar. And this light bar, I don't know what it is either, wattage or output wise, but it is going to be brighter than the headlights, but I don't think it's going to be as much of a difference as the stock lights were compared to the light bar. So light bar, no light bar, but honestly the throw on the light bar isn't much better than the headlight. So I'm really impressed with the throw. All right, so here is the stock headlights with the brights, without the brights. Stock headlights, light bar, no light bar. So again, stock headlights, brights, light bar. So I think the light bar really scatters a lot more light. The brights get the similar throw as a light bar, but just much more targeted for sort of legal on-road driving, which you would expect. So we're going to continue on here. I'm going to leave the brights on because it is a dark forest in the back acreage. Leave them on here and see what we can see as we cruise through. A lot more confidence inspiring than what I had in here before. Definitely really happy. I think surprisingly happy with the throw. I didn't expect it to be as crystal clear as it is. At this price point for that distance compared to what we had stock. This is much improved. Hard to see as we angle down here because obviously we're pointing at the ground. When we pop up, it is very, very useful. I'm currently very pleased with how these have turned out. It was a bit of a task trying to get these, aligned properly, but once we did, it's much, much better than where we came from. Circle on back. Yeah, I'm pleased. What do you think, man?
Yeah, these are great. These are way better. These are way better.
He definitely drove this truck with the stock lights too in the dark, and they were dim. The 08 to 10, I guess this is a 2009 Super Duty 250. If you didn't already know that, and those were terrible lights from the factory. This is just massively improved. So see, take this last little leg here without the brights on. Hopefully I don't get lost.
Especially with the rain, these are better.
This is just so nice here. Throw the light bar on just for effect. That's obviously going to be way better, but not road legal. All right, we'll cruise on back into the shop and wrap this up. All right, guys, back in the shop now. You'll see the lights are on. I got the shop lights off. Got the low beams on with the daytime running lights. And just thought I'd show you how this looks on the shop door. I'll throw up on the screen sort of a comparison, what this looks like compared to the old lights. And then also, right now, open up this back shop door and see what kind of throw we get from these new low beams compared to the old ones. And just see, if and how much better it is. So I will say right off the bat, we get a much better cutoff line. Like we don't see that tree that we had on the old ones at all. So it's, you know, like the old ones, I know we could see that tree like right, you know, this one right here, it was illuminated. This one with the projector lens, we get a cutoff line that's very, very sharp, so we don't get so much light bleeding up. I do think though, if I throw on the brights, we'll see, because there is no cutoff line on the brights, we'll see quite a bit of tree. So let's just see what happens. I know at this point it's apples to oranges because we're doing, you know, brights to compared to the old stock low beams, but let's see. So here we go, we can see that tree and much farther throw, but still a lot less range than the stock light. So I think really the name of this game is focusing the light where it's needed most and not just spraying it everywhere. I've, full disclosure, been driving with these for a couple of days. I didn't want to wrap up this video without giving you some experience firsthand, and I can tell you it's massively improved over the stock lights. Compared to, you know, I guess the price point on these guys, it was like 600, 700 bucks. It's a decent light for what it does. It's much better than stock. It's not the brightest light on the market, but again, it's a mid-range replacement light. And for the money, I am very happy with, you know, how these have performed over the last couple of days. How they'll hold up over the years, time will tell. But so far, I am quite pleased. All right, guys, that'll conclude this install of these AlphaRex Luxx headlights on this 2009 Ford F250 up here in Eastern Washington in my new shop. Like I said, you won't see too much of this place, but I had something to do on this truck, so I thought I'd put it on the channel for you guys. If you like the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And as always, stay tuned for more.